Today I'm breaking down my second Steelers mock draft of the 2025 draft season. Welcome into Steelers Talk. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. And today we've got 7 rounds of picks for the black and gold here. And now my one rule with this mock, and I'm going to try to keep this going for as long as I can't pick any player that I've already picked in a previous mock draft. All right, so all the players in here are going to be new. And if you guys want to check out my 1.0 Steelers mock draft, you want to see the players I took in that one, you guys can go check out that video that we put out a couple of weeks ago. I'll put that in the comments and description of today's show. That's what the thumbnail looks like so that you guys can find it. And make sure you click that subscribe button to never miss a mock draft from us here at Steelers Talk. This offseason, we're going to be doing it and releasing a new one every single week from now to the big day in Green Bay. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already, if you love Steelers draft content and you want it every single day. So in my first round pick here, I'm going to go a little bit outside the box here. I'm going to go Jahdae Barron, cornerback out of Texas here. And, I have seen over the last couple of seasons some really, really special nickel-type defenders really transform their team's defensive structure, the way that they play, all that stuff. And I think that an elite nickel defender could really change the way Pittsburgh plays defense. Because last year they really struggled in the slot. Beanie Bishop Jr. made some nice plays and was in the right place at the right time, got some interceptions, but was mostly a liability in coverage. And then Cam Sutton comes in and he was just straight hot garbage. He was awful. So a nickel defender I think is a big need for the Pittsburgh Steelers this offseason. And you look at in recent seasons, Brian Branch and Cooper DeJean ended up going on day 2, but those guys ended up really changing life for those respective defenses. Branch and DeJean are seen as some of the best defensive backs in all of football. Cooper DeJean, as a rookie, was the highest graded corner in all of football. And I think that Jahdae Barron is somebody that is Jahdae Barron is somebody that is in the same kind of caliber as these guys. And honestly, I think he's even a little bit more explosive of an athlete as these two guys. And I'm very excited about his future. He's got great instincts. I think that he would just be that chess piece that can float around in the middle of the Steelers defense that I think could really change life for Mike Tomlin and this unit. I think that they're going to address outside corner in free agency. So we'll see what they do at the nickel position, but I think if Barron is there at number 21, that's certainly somebody that they're going to have on their radar. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Would you be happy if Jahdae Barron is the round 1 pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Big-time nickel defender for this team. And I think that this defense is at its best when you have a legit slot corner in there. I think Barron provides that for you on day 1. Give me a yes or a no down there in the comment section for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time by giving me a yes or a no. In round 2, I'm going to take Jack Bech, the wide receiver out of TCU. And, Bech reminds me a lot of Juwan Jennings from the San Francisco 49ers. He's very tough to bring down after the catch. He gets ahead of steam. You're not bringing him down. He finishes runs after the catch. He's got super reliable hands, maybe the most reliable hands out of anyone in the draft this year. And I think that he's got quick feet. I won't say that he's got oily hips or, supreme athleticism where he's able to move and change direction super quickly, but he's got quick feet, which allows him to stop and start really quickly. I think that his route tree is a little bit limited as a player, but I do think that with his versatility, his ability to run after the catch, his toughness, and his run blocking ability, man, this guy's the best run blocker in the draft at the wide receiver position, bar none, in my opinion. And Arthur Smith, we know how much he loves his guys to run block. So I think Bech would be somebody that maybe isn't going to be a true number 1 receiver moving forward in his NFL career. I think he's more of like a really good number 2 and a complementary piece, but that's what the Steelers need right now. If they're going to keep George Pickens and they're going to try to keep him around for the long term, I think they want that complementary piece out there that can run block, that can run good routes, that's going to be super reliable as a hands catcher in the red zone and in the intermediate. I think that Jack Bech is a really, really freaking good player. I have him ranked as my number 8 wide receiver in this class, and if he's there at number 52, I'm pulling the trigger on him. Then in round 3, I'm going to go Kaleb Johnson, the running back out of Iowa. Now, you might be saying, Jack, there's no way Kaleb Johnson makes it to this spot. And you might be right, but there's going to be one of these running backs that's going to make it into round 3 to the Steelers pick. I really do believe that. There's just too many good running backs, and it's such a good and deep class where I think that at least one of these guys is going to be making it to the third round. And in this mock, I'm having Kaleb Johnson fall to the Steelers in round 3. He's a very, very instinctual zone runner. Arthur Smith wants to run a lot of zone concepts here in Pittsburgh, and Kaleb is at his best when he's allowed to put his foot in the ground, make one cut, and then attack vertically. I think that he's got great vision. I think that he's got that great one-cut ability. And I think that he can be a big-time player in the National Football League. Plus, he's got a little bit of receiving upside. And he reminds me a lot of James Conner when he was coming out of Pitt. Conner was such a physical player, great one-cut ability. Obviously, he had a pretty decent run here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but now he's become a top 10 running back with the Arizona Cardinals as well as kind of a do-it-all back for them. So I really like Kaleb Johnson's profile, and I think he can make an impact on the Pittsburgh Steelers if he's taken here in round 3. So coming up here, we've got day 3 picks for the Pittsburgh Steelers coming up. Round 4, 5, 6, and 7 is coming your way here in just a second. But first, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Prize Picks. And you guys can go to prizepicks.com/CLNS or download the Prize Picks app today to get their phenomenal deals. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action all off-season long, and with football's over, but you can get Prize Picks in on a bunch of different stuff, guys. Basketball is right in the middle of their season right now. Hockey with the international tournament's been absolutely electric, by the way, and you guys can get that going for you guys selves right now. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, where every Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. You guys can download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup when you download the Prize Picks app today. Prize Picks, run your game. Here in round 4, I'm going to take Jamaree Calwell, the defensive tackle, nose tackle out of Oregon. 340 pounds this guy is. He is absolutely massive. I thought he showed some really good stuff at the Senior Bowl this year. Some really nice athleticism for his size, and he is a run stuffer, all right? That's what he did there with the Oregon Ducks. With their excellent defense last year. And I think that, it's kind of crazy that this guy on film, with the way that he moves at his size and the way that he can really, destroy run plays, I'm surprised he doesn't get more buzz. I think a lot of people that have watched his film really love him, and for a reason. And, right now the Pro Football Focus Big Board would allow me to take him here in round 4. So that's what I'm going to do right here and get the next nose tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he would be the starter on day 1. I think he's that good. And that would allow Keanu Benton to move to either 3 technique or 5 technique, however you want to shift out Cam Hayward and Keanu. And those guys would be more penetrative type players where Caldwell can sit in the middle there, use his athleticism and his strength to be a true run stuffer, take on double teams. I think that that's a very important role to fill for the Pittsburgh Steelers this offseason. And here you get your day 1 starter in round 4. Then in round 5, I'll take another defensive tackle here. I'll double dip because I think that the Steelers not only need to add a starting level defensive lineman, because I think they're going to cut Larry Ogunjobi, but I think they need to get some depth as well, particularly in terms of pass rushers. And Rylie Mills out of Notre Dame is a really, really good pass rusher. He's just shy of 300 pounds, so he's not like a nose tackle, but I think that Mills is the type of guy that can rotate in his rookie season, and he can provide some disruptive reps from the interior as a pass rusher. And then eventually he can maybe even transition into a starting role when Cam Hayward eventually retires. So it eventually would be Keanu Benton at the 3 technique, Jamaree Caldwell at nose tackle, and maybe even Rylie Mills at the 5 technique. I think double dipping is a good strategy here for the Pittsburgh Steelers, particularly if they can get some value here on day 3. Then in round 7, I'm going to take another wide receiver here. I'm going to take Efton Chisholm III out of Eastern Washington. And this guy right here was the highest graded wide receiver in all of college football last year. Now, he was playing against lower level competition, but he makes guys miss. He's got some really great size, really good runner after the catch, which I know Arthur Smith really cherishes. And, right now the Pro Football Focus Big Board would allow me to take him in round 7. I think that this would be a slam dunk sleeper pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then here in round 7, I'm also going to go quarterback, and I'm going to go Tyler Shough. Now, Shough is somebody that's getting a lot of hype around him right now because I think that his film is actually really, really impressive. And I think the people that have watched his film really like him. He's got a great mental processor. He played under a lot of adversity there with Louisville, who had a terrible O-line and pretty much no weapons for him to throw to. And he was still putting up some really, really good numbers. Got good pocket presence, anticipation. He's got clean and quick throwing mechanics. He's accurate, especially down the field. There's a lot to like about Tyler Shuck's game. But he's very old. He's going to be 26 next year, a 7-year college player. And then he pairs that with an extensive injury history. All right, he had a shoulder. He's had multiple lower body injuries. And it's very possible that we might have like a Corey Trice Jr. situation here where the tape and the age kind of point to like a day 2 prospect. But then, the injury history might drive him down to a day 3 value. And, I think that Shuck his tape is certainly worth more than a 7th round pick. That's for damn sure. But like if his knee is effed up and his shoulder is effed up, like he might fall down the draft board. And as we know about the Pittsburgh Steelers, they say F them medicals. All right. So like if Shuck is still here in round 7, I think that'd be the best case scenario for the Steelers, even though I think on film, he's probably a day 2 prospect. Then my final pick here, my sleeper along the interior of the offensive line, Thomas Perry out of Middlebury, the Division III interior lineman that dominated, in my opinion, the Shrine Bowl practices this year, where he was really showing off some great anchor ability, some nice foot speed. And, obviously he didn't play against great competition there at the Division III school, Middlebury. But he went up against some of the best interior pass rushers in the country at the Shrine Bowl. There's a lot of really good players there, especially on the interior. This is a great defensive interior class, and he held his own and then some. I thought that he really did well in the one-on-one. So if there's going to be somebody here in round 7 that I think could potentially surprise some people, be a nice depth piece that can play center, that can play both guard spots, I think Thomas Perry is somebody to keep your eye on. So here's my mock haul 2.0 here, guys. Jahdae Barron as your kind of slot extraordinaire on the defense on day 1. Then you get Jack Bech, a really reliable, very tough wide receiver on the outside in round 2. Kaleb Johnson as your new starting running back in round 3. Your new starting nose tackle, Jamaree Calwell, in round 4. Rylie Mills in round 5 as a rotational pass rusher from the interior. Then in round 7, the trio of Efton Chisholm III, Tyler Shuck, and then Thomas Perry. Grade my mock for me down there in the comment section. Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F. Obviously, I'm giving myself an A, man. Like I love every single pick in this mock, but it's my mock. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. I greatly appreciate it. And make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, we're going to be doing a different Steelers mock draft every single week. I'm going to try to mix up the players as much as I possibly can every single week so we can talk about more players that the Steelers could potentially be targeting this offseason. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, guys, here we go, Steelers.